Hey guys, welcome back to the cookie jar for another video. Today we're doing the second recipe from a Fudge Cupcake Murder by Joanne Fluke. They are the cherry winks. That is these two pages here. Once again, it's a really simple throw together bake off cookie recipe. What you're going to need is, now there's several things with the ingredient list. The first one is the chopped pecans. It just says chopped pecans, so I assume you measure them, then chop them. That's what I did. It has a small jar of maraschino cherries, but in the instructions it says to quarter them. Again, I've already done that, although it seems like a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot of, because you're putting a cherry small. You know, it's really small for the maraschino ones. And you're cutting them into 4, which makes them slivers, basically. And you're putting these slivers on top of the cookies. Just 1 sliver per cookie is the way it reads. So I'm wondering if like a half wouldn't have been better. I don't know. But I guess that might where the cherry winks, the cherry's sliver might be a wink. I don't know. I thought that was weird. Let's see. I think that's the only 2. Oh, the cornflakes. Yeah, it has it in the ingredient list, measure before crushing, and then it tells you to crush them in the recipe. I don't know why they do that, but so you're going to preheat the oven to 375, which that's not normal. Normally it's 350, so watch that. You're going to want 1 cup of melted butter, that's 2 sticks, 1 cup of white sugar, 2 beaten eggs, just whip them up with a fork, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 3 tablespoons of maraschino cherry juice, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cups chopped pecans, 2 cups of flour, not sifted, and then approximately 2 cups cornflakes crushed, measure before crushing, 1 small jar of maraschino cherries for garnish. And then you're throwing it all together, you're mixing it up. It does say to roll them, and if they get too sticky, to put it in the fridge for half an hour. Then you take the balls, you roll them into cornflakes, which I haven't seen that done on a cookie before, so that'll be interesting. And then greased cookie sheets. It says to smush them down so they don't roll off. And then it says cut the cherries into quarters, cut the cherries into quarters and place 1 on the top of each cookie. So that's the way I read it, is you're getting a tiny little sliver on top of the cookie. Press the cherry down on top with your fingers, bake 10 to 12, cool for 2, wire rack till it's done. It says it'll give you about 6 to 7 dozen depending on cookie size. And it also says these are very pretty cookies. They're really popular at the cookie jar on Valentine's Day. I also make them at Christmas using red cherries to decorate some and green cherries to decorate others. Let's get in the kitchen and get started. Here are all of the ingredients that we are going to use today. Alright, so we have our melted butter in the bowl, and to this we're adding the cup of white sugar. It doesn't say to let it cool off, but every other recipe has. It's already pretty room temperature, so we're just going to go ahead and add the eggs. That's 2 eggs. And I do not think this recipe is going to make very much. I think maybe 3 to 4 batches is what I'm thinking. Now we're adding our teaspoon of vanilla, 3 tablespoons of our cherry juice, the teaspoon of baking powder, the half a teaspoon of baking soda, the half a teaspoon of salt, now it wants us to add the 1.5 cups of the chopped pecans, as well as the 2 cups of flour. Now I'm just going to scrape down the beater in the bowls. And this is definitely going to have to chill for at least half an hour. There is no getting out of this. It might even need an hour. Considering it has to be rolled in the cornflakes, there's no way. This looks like the inside of a, what are those cherries called at Christmas? Cherry cordial? I think that's the name of it. Yeah, this looks like the inside of one of those with the addition of the pecans. So this is not scooping or rolling anything. So just a little quick peek before I go put it in the fridge. That's what we're working with. I will see y'all in about half an hour. Hey y'all, it's been, I don't know, probably an hour, closer to. It's finally sturdy. So what we're gonna do, our scooper. It's still really soft, actually. Not sure about this. This is not going to be able to be rolled. I can tell you that right now. So it looks like we're just going to scoop and plop them into the cornflakes and roll it around that way, because it's definitely been more than the half an hour it says, and those are sticky. So these are fairly pink because of the cherry juice. And I know they say in the anecdotes about Christmas and Valentine's Day, but because these weren't actually dyed that color, I'm curious how pink they're going to retain after baking. So it says to push them down a little bit and put a quarter of cherry. So here is the first batch. They're moving around too much. So I'm just going to scoop up the rest, get them rolled and topped, and we will see how many we get. So the final count is 54. That's 4.5 dozen. These are going to go in 375 for 10 minutes and cool for 2, and then on a wire rack for the rest. Here are all of the cookies out of the oven. Here's the front and the back of the Cherry Wink cookies. There is nothing amazing about this cookie. Honestly, you get more cornflake taste off the crust, the outer, whatever you want to call that, than you do actual cherry flavor. Yeah, all I taste in my mouth is cornflakes. They're not a bad cookie, but with a name called Cherry Winks, I expect cherry to be the predominant flavor, not the cornflakes. Will they get eaten? Yes. Is it something I'll make again? Definitely not. Next week, we are doing the third recipe from the Fudge Murder. It's the cashew crisps. I assume they're either going to be coated in cashews or they're going to have chopped cashews in them. Go either way. If you're interested in seeing those, join us next week. I hope y'all have a good one. Bye, guys.